guys. Thank you for tuning in to The Reload. This is season 2, episode 4. This is our Crossfire with the Don himself. Lazarus is joining us. We're going to talk about so much. We're going to talk about, being Cuban, Puerto Rican, your music, your album, your single that's coming out. So again, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are and what you represent.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me. My name is Lazarus, the Top Don. I'm on the Top Don Empire LLC and record label. Thank y'all for having me. Thanks for having me on The Reload. What's going on?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this has been a minute. We scheduled some times. It didn't happen. But today we're able to go ahead and get this interview going for us to talk about what you got coming up. So the song that you sent me over, the single, Crossfire, let's just dive straight up into that. Is this song going to be on the album? I know that you're working on the album. Tell us a little bit about both of those.
Okay, so yes, Crossfire will be on the album. I came out with Crossfire. God bless everybody right now. We're during the coronavirus right now. So, a lot of people are getting crossfire and getting sick and through a lot of stuff. When I came out with Crossfire, I was basically at a time and point and place where I was around a lot of executives and a lot of executive colleagues, I like to call that, in the music industry, because I'm blessed. Away from being a music artist, I'm in a lot of showcases. I network and deal with a lot of people. So I was around one of my mentors, shout out to Gorilla Tone from Success Clothing. And when he sponsored me for the clothing line and sponsored me basically as an artist, things were in the heat of Crossfire. Like, we were crossing over into new avenues of music. We were crossing into basically new genres and titles of music. So I decided at the end of the day that everybody was caught up. So I felt like, let me put that out on an actual song and show them that we can still show them the original form of hip-hop with up-to-date beats nowadays. And it will be coming out of my album. My album will be titled Success in My Path Volume 1. It'll be hosted by Gorilla Tone from Success Clothing and the infamous Amadeus from I Get Adam.
Oh, yeah, Amadeus is that dude.
Yeah.
He definitely do his thing when it comes to producing and all of that. I really enjoy some of the projects he's worked on
Correct.
in the past. So with this song, talking about being, your conflict certain situations that have taken place in the industry, what do you feel that you've learned the most through those, those conflicts, those incidents, or that certain situation?
That ownership is key to everything. You need to own your masters. You need to be able to own your own publishing, own your own rights, know the music business. A lot of people just look at, people on TV. When you get a dream and you see them on BT or Rap City or whatever show that you might see them on or whatever, and they just think it's picking up a microphone and rapping, and not realizing that everything is a business. Everything costs, even from incorporating your name, from trademarking to copywriting your lyrics with the government and the Library of Congress, to having your performance right organization, to basically know how to be able to get paid off of the music that you put out digitally on Spotify and all these social media platforms.
Yeah. I know I preach that a lot to a lot of artists. Like, it's one thing, you know how to produce a song, or you can put a song together. You got a good producer, a good beat, all that stuff. But if you don't know the business, you can definitely get lost, especially if somebody, put you on or ask you to, hey, come sign with this label, and understanding the contract. And we saw that with Megan Thee Stallion, her and her contract issue between the two different labels. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like, because I think it's nothing wrong with if an artist wants to renegotiate, mid their contract. So within 6 months, you should be able to come back and say, like, hey, I want these changes, or hey, can we tweak this within our contract? How do you feel about that?
Of course, I feel the exact same way, because I'm an artist away from being a producer and a record label owner. And it all boils down to signing on the fine print and knowing what you're signing and knowing who you're dealing with. That's why I say that. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion, because I'm a fan and I like her very much. And I look forward to doing records with her in the future. But I know some of the people behind her management. I know people at 300 Entertainment. I was around here. I was around while these artists were breaking. So unlike these other artists, I was heavy in the strip club and underground scene everywhere.
Right.
And not only as an artist, but as one of New York City's top promoters and breaking artists, I bring a lot of these artists out. So I know a lot of things that differentiate within the business, you know? So
Yeah.
one thing that I have learned, you know, a lot of people are, you know, basically not educated on everything that needs to be done. And remember that nowadays
Mm.
money is the way that the world works. So when you want to be taught, only through financial what other people want to teach you. And then when they do teach you, sometimes they don't want to teach you more than them because they don't want to feel
Right.
a step ahead.
I hate that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein theory.
Mhm. Mm. You right. You right. They don't want you that. They don't want you too smart. They don't want
Of
you
course,
too
they want you
smart.
great, but never greater.
Greater. Yeah. Say that. And so you mentioned, you do your promoting. You're one of the top promoters here in New York City. So were you always doing promoting before you got into music, or was it music and then you realized like, hey, I gotta learn how to promote myself. I need to start working with this club or branding this club, and then I can bring my own thing into it because, being an artist, it's hard trying to find ways how you can eat from your dreams. Um, and from you know build from something that's not bringing you any type of revenue at the moment.
Correct. Well, the way I look at it like this, at the end of the day, streams of revenue and income aren't going to come into you just by you sitting in your house. You
Mm,
understand? Record labels don't just come looking for you at your house. You're only as good as the last intermediate song or the last media content that you put out. But that's with anything in life. So I've learned that even though I'm a music artist and I own my own label and I own my own publishing, you still have to have seven sources of income. So away from this, I own my own marketing company. I work my own other jobs. You have to be able
mm-hmm,
to push money into yourself and invest into yourself before somebody else will want to come and invest into you because it's a business proposition. So someone can give
mm,
you $1 million right now. And once you have the $1 million right now, it doesn't even matter about once you have the million. It matters on how you're going to recoup that and then how fast are you going to be able to deliver that back. So in
right.
my situation was I learned orchestrated. I've always been good with music. I've always been around people. People always support me, but I needed an orchestrated plan. So what better orchestrated plan than to take over New York City's clubs, get closest with the closest and hottest DJs and staff and colleagues that are in the music industry. So that way when you do need to push something for yourself, it's an easier access or maybe less in value or border trade system because sometimes relationships that you have with people might be offended price for one person and might be for something else. I hate to say it, but we're in a world where it's pay to play. Nobody does anything
Mm,
for free.
right. Yeah. And tell us about the record label, because you just mentioned that the record label, and then I know you have like Top Done clothing. Tell
Mm-hmm.
us a little bit about that and how your music influenced, the clothing and the label and what you're doing within the
All
label.
right, well, it starts off first from my family background. You know, rest in peace to my uncle Arsenio Rodriguez. That's from my Cuban background and history.
Okay.
He is the most famous Cuban singer in all of Cuba. He is known for playing an instrument called the tres. Okay, and
Hmm.
he is known for Afro Congo sounds and being known as the Don Father of salsa. Okay,
Oh,
so what
okay.
happened is they renamed the Bronx Street after him here. You can look him up. He's known as a historian. When he made music, it was in the time where basically racism was involved and Afro American people were getting hung and lynched, and you know there wasn't such a friendly environment out here when we were making music at the time, if you understand.
Right,
So what
right.
happened was he passed away, and after he passed away, I was his last living descendant and they wound up doing an interview on me basically on the news and on TV and media. Of course, you know, they always want to find out DNA and make sure that you're the right person. Of course,
Right.
all of that came back. And after that came back, they asked me what kind of tradition would I carry on as a music artist. So I told them since he was named the Don, then I'm going to name myself the Top Don and carry on his legacy. So that's how my
Mm,
name came out. So then once my
mm,
name came out, I started creating the logos. I started, you know, I've always been into merchant and brandizing. I've always been into basically high fashion and basically always being a fashion statement and icon for my community, my environment, and as a hip hop artist where I come from. And I was already working with shout out to Tone again from Success Clothing and other clothing sponsors that I have. So I started to basically work with a graphic designer that I have on my team. Shout out to him, Tank, and a bunch of other people that I work with, and giving them ideas on logos and things that I created. Then I found myself working inside of an actual clothing store doing vinyl, learning how to do things on myself. And then afterwards, I started
Mm-hmm.
to dabble a little bit and say to myself, as not only a businessman and record label owner, but I have to be an entrepreneur as well. So I have to dabble in other avenues. So I started to say I wanted to do that. I want to do, PO and skins for cars. I want to be in movies. I'm a writer, so I'll create my own books. So I made sure that I created Top
Mm-hmm.
Gun LLC and basically my clothing line, so that way then they could be trademarked and imprinted, and nobody else could basically take anything from me. And not only that, but a lot of people don't realize that this music business and industry is based upon your merchandise. A lot of
Right.
these people are coming to your shows and events to buy your album and basically buy merch off of you or buy vinyls. A lot of people don't know you can sell a vinyl up to $100. You might be able to take a shirt
Mm-hmm.
that you saw was $5, and once my imprint is on it, now it's mine. People don't realize that you can alter a logo after it's altered more than 65%. At the end of the day, and you change it, and then afterwards, it's your remedial price for your merchandise.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
everything is a lucrative situation to always push you forward, because people are only going to respect you for the brand and content that you perceive and deliver.
Mm. And on some of that merch, I'm glad you brought up merch because you're right. Merch is so important. It's especially as an artist and an up and coming artist or independent artist, whatever category you may fall under, and it's about creating something that once that fan or that super fan purchased that shirt, that hat, that sticker, whatever it may be, that they're going to go out and they're going to wear it and they're branding you. They're building your name ID. They're building that brand awareness. Now, are you using, because I told you, I know that we wanted to talk about this now. On Instagram, you are called the energy demon.
Correct.
Are you using some of that language on some of your merch, and like tell us about that name, how it came about, and um, how can we get some merch with that, with that on it, and build your name ID that way as well.
Okay, so my name is Lazarus the Top Don. That's my artist name. So just like other artists that you look, if you look at Lil Wayne, he has like Fireman, he has like Mr.
Little
Real
Tony,
Bob. They
yeah.
have different names. So that for me, the Energy Demon is another persona, okay, and
Mm,
another alias that leads into me. When I'm on that time, is because I feel that when I walk into the room, it doesn't matter what music artist it is, or who it is, or what legendary status they have, because they know how I make music, and I'm barbaric and I'm very catchy and very fast off the mind and easy to do music, that they feel that pressure when I walk in the room. So
mm,
when they feel that pressure when I walk into the room, life is based upon energy, just like music is based upon energy. So I feel that when I come into the room, that I change the energy and polarity of the room, no matter where it's at.
mm. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. So I'll be looking out for a
Of course, my
shirt or
website.
something. Yeah,
No,
tell us to the
I'll be
website.
sending you something. All you got to do is DM me your information. I'll ship something to you. I
All
have some of
right.
my people working and creating things right now. I'm actually in the process. I'm so sorry to all my fans and everybody. Due to the coronavirus, we can't be in 6 feet or distance of people, so I couldn't be able
Right.
to work directly with the web designer, but he is working on it from home. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving him time because everybody's taking care of their families. He told me in anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks we should be on.
Okay, good. That so tell people the website. Give us the
Oh, the
website.
website, it'll be www.topdonmerchandise.com. I'm waiting for the domain and I'm waiting for everything to come right now. I'm going to make it simple for my people to be able to find it. And of course, I'll post it on my Instagram and on my other sites. And if you look on my Instagram now, you can go to my other website on United Master / Lazarus the Top Don. It shows my complete bio and my EPK and everything that I'm doing right now.
Right. And are you on all platforms in terms of your music? Like it's on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal.
Yes, I'm on all
Okay.
social media platforms right now. As far as my
Hmm.
singles that are out right now, it's on Spotify,
Okay.
Tidal, Apple Music. All you got to do is look under my name, under Lazarus the Top Dawn. My three
Okay.
singles are there. It should be Swerve, Crossfire, and Cash Out.
All right. And so tell me this, like, besides, of course, like your relative, your uncle, and everything. Who else? Who's this? Who you getting your aspiration from? Like, who's inspiring you to do what you do? Because you don't just rap. You know and you trilingual. That's what I like to call people. Like,
Okay.
you got your different styles of rapping. You're not just English spoken rapper who's Cuban and Puerto Rican. Like, I know some of your songs you do your native tongue. You speak in your native tongue. So
Yes. Well, basically, I can't sit here and say that I'm not influenced by my uncle because I still listen to his music. I'm influenced by him. I'm influenced by people like Big Pun, Jay-Z, Coogee Rap, Spanish people like Jerry Rivera, Don Omar. There's different people. It's a mix of both multicultural. Why? Because at the end of the day, there's different forms of music. So that way people know I don't just make one genre of music. I make hip hop, I make R&B, I make trap, I write R&B, neo soul, Spanish, reggaeton. I ghostwrite for other people. So when you do that and you start to find what I call your musical niche, you start to realize that you can hit whatever genre. Not all artists can hit all genres. And I've learned that because I've had people put me to the test, producers, other artists, people that you'd never expect at the end to be able to come out and go, well, I want to try this different form of music with you. And that's what I wanted to do.
yeah. Okay. So is there anything as we, wrap up this interview, is there anything that, you want to let the people know about you? Is there any upcoming, of course, there's no upcoming events because of the coronavirus and
Yeah,
everything
I'm
that's
sorry to
going
tell you that I
on.
had to cancel about 22 shows.
Oh man. So how are you finding ways to at least try to make some revenue, or like what things are you doing? Are you preparing yourself better? Because I think this is the time where you need to like plan better. You need to um, have that exit strategy when shit hits the fan. So what are you doing differently, or what will you do differently now that this has taken place?
Well, basically, nothing changes for me because at the end, I've already had the strategy from the beginning coming in. So
Mm,
I make sure that I sit down with my colleagues, we execute and find out what
mm-hmm,
it is that we can do basically digitally because everything has to be digital now since you
mm-hmm,
can't go by word of mouth and you can't go hand to hand anymore. So what we're trying to do is put out the best content for our listeners and viewers and make sure that I'm keeping in tune with my fans. This is why basically on my website, I tell them to leave me a contact or an email, or maybe I might FaceTime and interact with my actual, fans or my people, or maybe I might take requests or whatever it is that they might want at the time. Because remember, you're nothing without the people. So people have to
right.
support you in everything that you do. So what I've been doing is making sure that I keep relevant, keep to the relevant topics. There's a lot of challenges going on Instagram. I'm making sure I'm active on the challenges. I'm making sure that I'm receptive and showing people, and basically going back to square root one, which was originally okay. We have to put out a hot product, make sure that we're
Mm-hmm.
consistent with product out there and flooding the market and being able to put things out basically digitally so people can see things. And if you're doing things visually, then I ask you to, basically protect yourself and make sure that you're safe, which I'll be doing with my staff and colleagues at the end of the day to put out my visuals, but it'll be enclosed and I'll know everyone that is there. So we're at a very difficult and high time, but all we can do is try to micromanage and make sure that we keep moving with the curriculum.
Yeah, that's true. That true. That and you and your staff staying safe, because I hear somebody in the background
Of
coughing.
course,
They got
of
that
course.
corona. They got the rona. They back there coughing and shit.
That's not for Corona. That's Bob Marley
Oh,
medicine.
that's something else. That's something else. Somebody
That's something
lighten
else.
up.
That's Bob Marley medicine.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. I ain't gonna look at you crazy, man. I ain't gonna look at you crazy.
You know that we
uh,
anti-fucking Rona free over here, baby.
Alright. So I also, shortly before we leave, like, what can we expect like next year besides the album? We know the album is coming out. What are you looking forward to? What's your 2020 goal that you gotta get back on, hop back on as soon as all of this stuff is over?
Oh well, of course. Afterwards, I'll be putting out some big records out for the Bronx that are not on the album. I have some anthems, and then I look forward to doing a lot of collaborations with basically artists that are already in the game. I got a couple surprises that I'll be surprising people. I don't want to spoil it. That's why they
Okay,
got to make sure that
okay,
they purchase the album. Then
okay.
after that, I got my two artists that I'll be releasing myself from my label and my imprint. Shout out to
Okay.
First Class. That's one of my artists that's on there. And then my other youngest artist, 19
Mhm.
Phoenix.
All right. Well, I definitely want to hear from them, hear some of whatever music they have out when it comes out. Make sure you shoot that my way, and I'm so happy that you joined it. You joined me today,
No, of course. Thank
Lazarus.
you for having
And
me.
no problem. Next time, tell your partner to pass, puff,
Yeah.
puff, pass. You
He
know,
said
he hogging.
airmail or shoot an email.
Yeah. He said, what?
Airmail or shoot an email.
Shoot an email.
He said
You
shoot
can
an email.
you can airmail it too, whatever.
Whichever way.
Whichever way works. But yeah, man, I can't wait. Next time once everything gets back going, I definitely want to attend some events. I know you invited me to a couple, and I just, life happens, shit happens. It
Well,
gets.
it's okay. Later on, everybody could tune in today around maybe 6:30. I should be on live. I'll be going on live, interacting with my people, taking comments, suggestions, reviewing
Mhm.
people's music, letting people freestyle live, giving them
Okay.
a chance and opportunity to be able to get on live89.com, which is another radio and show that I work with that you can get WBLS spins and be able to get your
Mhm.
record. So that's why I say I'm always in tune, and not only as an artist, but I give back.
Yeah, that's dope, and that's what you have to do in order to
That's a fact.
be
And I
around
want
the right
everybody to
people.
make sure that they hit me on the chat and follow me. Follow me on all my social media. Is Lazarus the Top Don? For those that don't know how to spell it, Lazaris, the actual word the the actual correct spelling, Top Topdon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, brother. And I can't wait for the album to drop. I'm going to be
Yes, thank you
bumping
for all your support.
Crossfire. And we'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in to The Reload.
I'll see you. Let's keep it reloaded.
All right. Bye. Holla.
Bye.